napkins and pals, and there's also therapy too.
All right, everyone. Well, welcome on in. It is season 7, episode 5. This is an amazing episode as well. We really are in the deep throes of great episodes back to back. Gryzzlbox. And side note, I'm just going to do a disclaimer that you might hear a baby in the background because we live lives. We have our lives, and it's not my baby. Nothing happened.
The baby is okay. The baby has separation anxiety.
I was like, as I was saying that, I was like, are people going to think that I had a baby?
Yeah.
But no, it's not me. But yeah, so you guys have heard him before, and he's a star. So he's not making royalties yet, but he will soon. But anyhow, so just a heads up on that front. But yes, great episode. I love this so much. This was written by Donnett Carey, who we've seen so many times before, not only on Parks, but on a lot of great shows that we love. And I did a little bit of a breakdown, but just a reminder, like I did a breakdown previously when he's written. But just a reminder that he got his start writing for David Letterman. He wrote for The Simpsons, which, we've learned a lot that The Simpsons has a lot of Parks crossover. He also wrote for AP Bio, Silicon Valley, which lends itself greatly to this episode of a tech company that we're talking about. And then for Parks, he's written Doppelgangers, which we love that episode. 1 in 8,000, which is the one where Leslie learns that she's pregnant. And then this will be his last writing credit on Parks. So what a way to go out. This is perfect.
Yeah, for sure. I love this because I think we're starting to get into the plot. Like the plot thickens here.
Yeah.
And it's really cool. So we had our resolution of the Ron and Leslie, and now the plot is thickening around this park.
Yeah, totally. And then this was directed by Amy Poehler. How exciting.
That's awesome.
Yeah. As we know, she directed a couple of episodes already. So she directed the debate episode, and she wrote that one too. So lots of good things there. But she also directed Article 2, which we also know as Ted Party Day. And then this will be her last time directing Parks, which is, wow, lots of lasts. So crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, great team for this episode.
Yeah, strong team. I love it.
Okay, I'm ready for a summary whenever.
Okay, here we go. Leslie, Donna, and Ben get disconcerting boxes of secret gifts, which lead Ben and Leslie into investigating if Gryzzle is data mining. Tom distracts himself from missing Lucy by becoming Andy's talent agent. Ron might be switching sides, and April tries to scare away the new interns.
Yes, there's a lot of story in here. A big shift from last episode when we didn't get much of a story, or not, story, but we didn't get much like A and B stories and stuff. So I think that's a really interesting way to move on. Like you said, the plot thickens.
Yes, yeah, it felt very busy because of that. I think because the last episode was one room, one story.
Right, totally. Okay, so we start this episode with Leslie and Ben staring at a board that they've made titled How to Defeat Gryzzle. And again, we saw this last week with her murder investigation board as to why/how her and Ron fell out. So this is just kind of continuing on her investigation story. But now we're getting back to Gryzzle, like to the Gryzzle world, because we haven't really talked about them, especially with last episode. We talked about Gryzzle a little bit, obviously, with why they broke up their friendship, but now we're getting back to the competing over the land with her and Ron. And so Leslie has this funny moment, which I feel like you and I both can relate to sometimes after we've tried so hard and worked so hard, we're just like, whatever, it's pointless, I give up. And Leslie's just like, let's call it a spade a spade. I'm up against $90 million. And it's true, because her argument is literally just, please give it to me.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so true. And it's so funny because it shows you how much time and energy she spent on this, because it's not her initial reaction, like it's not ours, to say I give up. So it just shows how much energy she's put into it already to be like, I guess it's done.
We did it. We tried. We're good. Yeah, totally. I think that's a great point. And Ben is being his classic nice and supportive self and saying, hey, you know what? You've beat bigger odds. They're a company. They can't be that powerful. And I'm like, Ben, I think you know the power of companies. I don't, but okay, that's really sweet of you. And then Leslie gets a notification on her phone that says, open your door. Dude, I wrote dude in all caps. I was like, Oh,
Not
my
okay.
God. This shit is
Not
wild
okay.
that it's 2015 in that, like how far we've come. And I mean, the tech world was just starting to do like the data mining, the algorithm shit on social media. I mean, it was doing it before, but I feel like it just got so heavy around this time and it started being more creepy, if you will, and more noticeable to the consumer. Because I think at the beginning, I feel like it was not something that the consumer really knew was happening unless you like just had a lot of knowledge around that. But I feel like with this, it's just we're starting to notice now. The consumer is starting to notice. And anyhow, so
Yeah.
and so she opens the door to a drone from Gryzzle, and she makes a joke, kind of, but she's serious, where she's like, "The robots have come for us. Your novel has come
Yeah.
true." I made fun of you when you said it
So
would
funny.
happen.
Yeah. But here we are.
Yep. Ugh. And then we've got Roscoe's voice from Gryzzle in there saying, "Hey, Leslie Nope." And this takes it a step further because, we have robots delivering things to people now, which is
Yeah.
wild. I mean, that is a prediction that I think was probably pretty easy to make simply because of where we are with technology and all these kinds of things.
Yeah.
But it's further than that though, even more, that's more so than drones, because like now we have robot like humanoids doing like TikTok dances and self-driving cars. And I didn't realize, because I was curious if Amazon or any other delivery company has done this before. And 2024, I read that Amazon did test this, delivering packages via drones, but I don't believe that we have like stayed with that. Like I
Seen
don't
it.
think they've done that, as much. So but we do have, and I'm sure people have seen, especially if you live in LA, New York, the bigger cities, we do have those robot delivery services where they're delivering food and they're on the sidewalk, they're bumping into people and poles and all these kinds of things, stopping traffic when they do crosswalks, like wild. So that's I think,
Yeah.
equivalent of the drones.
Yeah. We have those in Tempe, Arizona as well. And yeah, they're crazy looking. And like there's got to be so much that goes into the drone situation. Like I bet you we get there. There's just a lot of things they haven't worked through yet.
Right.
So
Oh my
yeah,
God,
it's just
so
crazy.
And drones
Yeah.
are scary, I feel, if they were to come right. Well, they're already scary when you see them flying. Like we've seen them, just flying because they do satellite GPS kind of stuff
Yeah.
with it. But so when they come right to your door, and that's a big fucking drone right in front of your front
Yeah.
door rather. And I'm like, front doorstep. Oh my gosh. So yeah,
It's a
I
scary
understand
sound
Leslie's
that it
fear.
makes.
That too.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
For sure.
And
I
oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I think the first time I was ever like scared of like this kind of stuff where like the information is coming from different places and like, oh my gosh, are people watching me, is in 2018. I was trying to buy plane tickets and I was using my phone. My work computer had no link, like my email wasn't linked into my work computer or anything like that. And on my work computer, it popped up as an ad one day for where I was trying to buy plane tickets for. And I was like, excuse you, how do you know that these two things are the same people? And why are you paying attention to that? That's what I'm looking for.
Right. So crazy, right? Oh my gosh. And I did do a
Yeah.
little bit of a breakdown on data mining when we get there. So it's still
Oh,
so
good.
much like gray area though. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And so I was going to say like, so we've got like the data mining that is, not consent or, like it might be nefarious, but this is like gifts. This is free gifts. Like this is a fun thing technically. So that's how they're manipulating, and which is almost even more nefarious in a way, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is wild.
Yeah.
So
Crazy.
So now at Tom's Bistro, Andy is testing out a new dish. I love this. The camera zooms into Tom's face, reading all the ingredients and how the ingredients are imported and all these fancy things. And then we pan back to Andy, and he has just eaten the whole thing in like 2 minutes, not even recognizing how like the flavor palette and all the cool things that Tom is trying to get across.
Yeah. No, he's definitely not paying attention to any of that. He does not care. It's food. Free food was placed in front of him and he's going to eat it.
Correct. The end. So the reason that he's testing out these new dishes is because Lucy is visiting her boyfriend in Chicago, so he's distracting himself with work. And so, and on that note, Andy gives Tom a contract from his studio where he does the Johnny Karate show. And the contract says that the station is going to own the character Johnny Karate. And no, he made that name. He created that name.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of contracts. I know when I was a teacher, it's anything that you create while you work there belongs to the company.
I know.
But he created Johnny Karate before he was ever a TV show. He brought it with him. So I don't like it. I'm no, that's his. Let him keep it.
Yeah.
He's a lawyer.
I know, exactly. And that's where the negotiating the contract after the contract is up could come into play. But yeah, typically look, I'm not as, into the, in the weeds of the entertainment industry lawyer law side, I feel. But the contract typically will say, even if you created it before, if you sign on to do this show, it's ours now, essentially. And a lot of times, though, with contracts, they'll pay you for the rights. They will give you a hefty sum. Typically, it's probably not enough because it's Johnny Karate or whatever the character is. But typically, they'll pay you for the rights to it, and then you can kind of just leave thinking, well, at least I got the money kind of thing.
Yeah.
But then we learned that he only makes $100 for the whole entire week to do all of these things. And it was so meta for me personally, but honestly, I'm sure that every industry has some version of this. But for me as an artist and all my friends that are artists and musicians and actors and stuff that just literally do every single thing. Me with this podcast, this is how I was just oh my God, you have this laundry list of tasks that you do and you only get paid $100. And I was oh my God, everything. And then we learned later on that he's a janitor as well. And I'm just oh my gosh, that was so hilarious and also heartbreaking.
Yeah, so heartbreaking. I'm actually genuinely surprised that April hasn't caught this.
Yeah, that's
because
true.
She was his agent of sorts back when Johnny Karate began, and she was always negotiating his fee. So I'm really surprised that that's all he makes, because I would think that April would be excuse you, no.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I wonder if he's even shown it to her. I don't know. Yeah. But also then she wasn't really as involved with her job too,
So true. Yeah.
But still, no, that's a good point. Well, anyhow, it's really funny too that his reaction is well, I do all these things and it's pretty fair.
Yeah.
And he drives everyone home at the end, so he's basically he's all of the crew essentially. Yeah. Oh my God. But at the same time, I was kind of psychoanalyzing this, which whatever. Well, maybe it's not psychoanalyzing, just analyzing in general. He's still operating at the level of being in his rock band. They didn't get paid much, probably, if anything, but maybe some free drinks at the bar or some food or something. But he is kind of just operating at well, I've always kind of done this regardless. And he doesn't understand that you've moved up to a different level now and a different task and different level of service, I feel, for this position. And so I think he's just happy to be doing it, which is also such a meta thing for me too, because that's kind of a trope that a lot of the bad producers and the bad that's the bad Hollywood side, where it's you should just be happy to be here. You should just be lucky that you got the part, because this is such a competitive area and competitive industry that, well, at least you got the part. Who cares if you're getting paid your actual fee? And that's what literally people have said. And again, that's the bad Hollywood side. That is not representative of all of Hollywood or all of parks, but still, that's fucked.
Yeah.
So
no, yeah, I hate that.
Yeah. And so, but at the same time, and what I always remind young artists too is this is, and yes, you have to pay your dues, whatever. But what I have to remind myself of too is this, it is work. What we do, the podcast, even the music, preparing, all that stuff, it is actually work. It's not a hobby. It is it's a weird gray area where it can be a little bit of both, but it's a lot of work and energy. And Andy is putting in so much time of his life to not be getting compensated for it is absurd.
Well, I think it's the same side of being an athlete. It's just because you love what you're doing doesn't mean it's a hobby. Like you still work really hard to get there. You still work hard to maintain it. It's not like you make the Premier League and then you don't practice soccer anymore, right? Like you're still playing. You're still practicing to get better and better. It's the same thing with music, but I mean, athletes get paid pretty well.
Way more.
Depending on they do. Depending on the sport too. But
well,
it's
and
like,
also depend on the level, because like A-list actors get paid probably as much as athletes too. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
Or like easily. The A-list athletes. Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah. And it's like, you can't use that as an excuse. Well, you're lucky because you get to do what you love. Like, no, I'm not lucky. Do you know how many hours I've put in to get to this level?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I should be compensated for being as good as I am.
Yeah, totally. And I mean, and this is totally, again, just like my journey or whatever. So skip ahead if you need to, but it'd be naive, especially for acting, but also probably for athletic, endeavors. I feel like it'd be naive to say that luck wasn't a portion of some of it, because there is luck involved with any success, I think, personally. But that doesn't negate the hard work that you've put in, the people and the networking and the time that you've put in to really hone your craft and to be good at what you do, and to like the amount of hours that you spend to like be on the field all that time to get to that place. I feel like it's not, it's not all luck, but it's not all the other side either, if that makes sense. So the point is that it's work. It is still work. And if we lived in a land where money was not a thing, okay, maybe, sure, we would just let it go. But, you expect to be paid at your regular job. You expect to be paid if you're any other profession. So why wouldn't you be paid for this work too,
Yeah, absolutely.
That's not to say we're doing rocket science, okay? I understand there are different levels of knowledge, but you get it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so thank you for that whole little tangent. Let's see. Tom is like, this is perfect. This is going to be a great distraction to get his mind off Lucy. He's going to help Andy by being an agent, essentially, with his project, contract situation. And agents do negotiate contracts. So, I mean, I think a lawyer would be helpful if the agent needed help. But yeah, the agents do negotiate. So that's like they're representing the talent, if you will. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
But Andy should probably get a manager, I feel, at least, with with all of the things that he's doing. I'm
surprised he doesn't have one.
I know.
I mean, I guess I'm actually surprised that there's like an agency or like a studio that has this guy in Pawnee. Like you'd think he'd have to go to like Indianapolis or something for this, but
totally.
But yeah, I'm surprised.
Yeah, I mean, and he is new. Andy is newer to this like world. Oh, and by new, I just mean like a new idea of having done this. He's not green by any means. He's been doing entertainment and kids parties and stuff and rock bands forever, but he's newer to the idea of this being a business, right? Like he just thinks this is a hobby, but now he doesn't quite understand that this is his job now,
Mm-hmm.
Which yeah. So I'm glad. I know that it wasn't really like intentional necessarily, but I'm glad that Tom is gonna negotiate some.
Yeah,
for him.
Agreed.
So now we've got Donna meeting with Leslie, and she says she also got a Gryzzlbox, and she sounds annoyed / mad about it because her free gifts were honey bears and sugar plums, which is very precious because that is the names that her and Joe call each other, which is so cute.
So cute.
But like you said, with your travel situation, they only call each other those names on the phone or via text. So how could they possibly know that? She was not doing that on social media or anywhere public. So how could they know that? And then we come to the conclusion that they are probably, most certainly, data mining, aka looking at your phone, your algorithm, all the things, catering their products to you. And in today's world, like I said, like I feel like it's so normal to do that now. I will say, like I said, that's like the hard thing about this, because it's like, is it that bad? Because at least it's like good stuff that they're sending. Whereas the stuff that we see now are these targeted ads that really make you like lose your mind. Like I cannot tell you the amount of like medical ads and stuff I get because I have GI issues, as most people know, I feel. And so I'm always getting targeted ads because I always like look up stuff about how to, help that, probiotics, all these things. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm getting so many things about. I've made a list. I actually made a list of like all the targeted things that people said that like the reason you're fat or the reason you're like feeling bad in your gut or whatever. And it's like everything from PCOS to just like pelvic floor issues to cortisol to all these different things. And it really fucks with your brain because you're like, oh my God, maybe I do have that. And I'm not saying that it's not impossible for you to have those things, but the shit that gets in your head and this like skinny talk and all these like fitness bullshit, and like selling all of these supplements and stuff or GLPs when you don't actually need them. Oof, it gets my gears going. Because I'm just like, I'm so mad at these people sometimes. Because sometimes they are nefarious and they actually have never tried the product. And sometimes they aren't. Sometimes they're like, this is what worked for me and I like that, whatever. So you've got to have some sort of like inner monologue of like, this is separate from my life. I need to do what's right for me and that kind of stuff. But there are a lot of people where you don't have that inner monologue, especially if you're young and you're being targeted. I mean, come on.
Oh my gosh. Well, and you've lived your whole life with access to a phone and like a cell phone, not a like flip phone. Like I just see a lot of that being a problem because it's also easy to just stare at your phone for 2 straight hours and not realize that 2 straight hours have gone by. And you've now consumed all these different ads and all these different things trying to sway you to think a different way or it's crazy.
Yeah. And I said, like it is. Yeah. I said that younger people have maybe more tendencies, but also when you're older and you've maybe lived your whole life having like body image issues or mental issues or whatever it is, like you are very easily swayed when someone tells you like this worked and you should do it and it costs $500. You know what I mean? Because it's like sometimes people are desperate and it's like, yeah, maybe $500 is worth it to feel better, you know? So it's like, yeah, you really have to do your research and try to be a little bit separate from it, but it's hard, dude.
Yeah,
oh my God. Yeah. Anyways. And yeah, I mean, there's been studies, there's a whole literal documentary on that about like how they get into your brain and really persuade you, you know, it's manipulation. Yeah. But also I love TikTok in the same way. So it's so hard because I learn a lot from it too. Like I have kind of catered my algorithm a little bit to find like knowledge and information. Like I learn a lot about history. There are a lot of accounts that talk about like biblical historians and which I find interesting because the Bible was not written by historians and I'm very interested in like the actual history and you know, I mean, I'm not going to go on the tangent of all my stuff, but my algorithm. But I just, it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah,
it can be
like a lot of things. Exactly. There's pros and cons. Like totally, exactly like you said. So
and like you said, everything in moderation. It's kind of like food, where you can't get addicted to it.
Yeah, and you can't have ice cream for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but you can have it after your dinner, right? Like it's treat yourself. But it's like I try my best and I'm not always successful, but when I walk in the door after work, I try to leave my phone in my bedroom or like right at the door so that I still have access to it if I need it. Like I usually FaceTime my mom so she can see Killian or whatever, but it's like, I try to not be holding it and like on it once I get home because I'm like, Killian hasn't seen me all day. It's like, I need to be here present. And if you start, I've learned it's so hard to stop and get out of it. And you're like, oh, just one more video, just one more video, just one more video.
Yes. Yeah. I need to be better at not looking at it immediately when I wake up. I'm very guilty of that.
Yeah.
Because it also like, it's so hard because I think it helps me wake up a little because it gets me in
your brain has to pay attention. Yeah.
And so
it's hard
I need to not do that.
Yeah. And it's hard because I don't know about you, but I set my alarm on my phone. So it's like, I have to reach and grab my phone to turn off my alarm. And then it's just there.
Absolutely. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And it's a nice
gotta find something to replace it
with. Yeah. Yes. I know. You got to find something to replace it with. Oh my God. Or like you said, moderation. Anyway.
Yes.
So Leslie opens hers because we're trying to figure out what exactly was in her box. And it's Biden's book, which is so funny. Biden the Rails. And a poster of the Supreme Court justices sipping the Friends milkshake, which, yes, this stuff is perfect for her. And it proves this Donna's point, that they are looking for information and kind of creating profiles on everybody so that they can send them what they would like. Which also, this is a funny prediction or not funny, but it's a prediction from the Parks writers that Antonin Scalia is not pictured in the Supreme Court justices. And because this episode is set in 2017, they predicted that he would no longer be on the court because he was kind of older. And he did pass away in 2016. Wild.
Wow.
Which this was filmed in 2014, but it aired in 2015. And so he died a year later, and then it's based a year after that. Isn't that wild?
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, it's like kind of what Mike Schur said when you were doing the breakdown on the prediction of the Cubs, where he's like, we're not wizards. That probably did happen or would happen because it seems like he was older or whatever.
Yeah,
but
they made
still,
educated guesses.
Guesses, yeah. But still, I think they are wizards. Don't you lie to
they're
me.
Smart.
We're being lied to. Don't you gaslight me into thinking that you're a normal human.
Yeah. Come on now.
Anyway, so Ben says this is illegal and a huge invasion of privacy. And in true Ben fashion, he remembers everything that he did. He says that he made sure there was language preventing this in their contract when they gave Pawnee free Wi-Fi. And then, the illegal comment. This is where I did my breakdown. Okay, are you ready? It's a little bit long, but we can talk through it. Okay, so this is where it made me question, is data mining really illegal? Because if it is, then damn, a law is being broken every fucking day. How is that possible? Because of all the things that we've mentioned before. And so I found a website that I will post in the show notes that kind of breaks this down in like layman's terms. But basically, data mining is not illegal by default. It's widely used across industries and is legal when conducted in compliance with data protection and privacy regulations. This is the gray area that I was kind of talking about. So it depends on like how they're accessing the data. So legal issues arise when the data is collected, shared, or analyzed without proper consent, transparency, or safeguards. Responsible data mining depends on following the laws and organizational policies within each structure. And so we don't know yet that there is this clause, which, spoiler alert, we're jumping ahead, but we don't know yet that there's this clause that Gryzzle has added into this contract, because I think the reason that Ben is saying it's illegal is because he thought he had safeguarded against this in the contract. He thought this was literally written into the contract, but it wasn't. And so this is kind of where it gets tricky, because there are certain what's the word, like standard of procedures, those things that you sign, consent forms, when you sign up for profiles and things like that. It kind of gets tricky because some of them you do sign away like your consent, quote unquote, especially if your social media is public. Because if your social media is public, I mean, it's kind of a free for all, and there's really no way for that to be guarded against. Or when you think about cookies, like remember when Ron got freaked out about cookies and April explained, like, you put in your email in this thing and they took that. That's not technically illegal? ? Which is still wild, obviously. But anyway, so it says that there are illegal data mining practices with lack of consent, which is collecting or using sensitive personal information, which I think would be like medical records, finance records, things like that, without the consent. Unauthorized access, which is when they bypass security firewalls, hacking databases, or violating a platform's terms of service. That's what I was using instead of standard of procedure. That's what I meant. When you when you sign away your life by that one little check mark, essentially, that is a thing. But also there are definite hackers out there. That is absolutely illegal. And then the third one was discriminatory use. That's illegal, where if you discriminate against individuals based on protected traits like age, race, gender, or religion. And then the fourth one is regulatory noncompliance, which is where you fail to adhere to the regional data protection frameworks. So like each region, each country, each state, probably, I don't even know state, but, and each like department, if you will, has its own US privacy laws, which govern how the personal data has to be safeguarded. But like I said, there are just like really gray areas. Like I was curious, you know how you get spam emails all of the fucking time?
All the time, yeah.
they've gotten smart where they've now made their spam numbers from the area code where you live. So you think that it's like someone that you might know or your doctor's office or something like that to get you to answer. And really, again, it just depends on what kind of information it is and how they got your number. If they got your number from it being on like the yellow pages or something like that, it's technically legal, which again is very freaky. And I would love if a lawyer or someone who's listening to this knows more information. I would actually be very interested in knowing, because it just sounds like there's so many moving parts and so many things where it's actually legal. But it says if a website explicitly forbids automated bots or scraping in terms of service, doing so can violate the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act, or CFAA, which can lead to private lawsuits. And then what's even crazier is that in America, there's the American data brokers who legally collect and mine emails and sell them to third parties. And they are generally permitted to operate under U.S. law, provided the data is collected, this is the caveat, from public records and everyday online activities. Like, that is perfectly legal, which seems insane.
That's insane.
It seems insane.
That's why do I have an email address anymore?
That's password protected. Like,
yeah. Oh my gosh.
And also that's the thing too about like when you go to a website and you sign up or whatever, like you have to sign up for their email list. And a lot of that's just marketing, but like those email address can be mined by these companies that are selling your information. And I'm like, what? So I'll post this in the show notes. And I think it just really depends on what the actual, like, you have to read the law based in your region and also how they are getting it. So if they are accessing these medical records that are protected under HIPAA, or they're accessing, something that, or financial, like I said, that is not legal because you did not consent to that. But there are these legal kind of guardrails that allow this to happen. And it's so bizarre.
Yeah.
So
that's insane.
Yeah. I know.
No one's safe.
Right. Yeah, you really got, and like the elder fraud of, oh my God, that makes me cry sometimes when these spam artists call and are like, oh my God, someone's stuck, or like and we've been getting, I don't know if you've gotten this, my mom and I have been getting these like USPS, like pretending to be USPS, saying like you need to pay or confirm your zip code in order to make sure that your package gets there. And we send stuff to Brooklyn all the time, or we send packages frequently, or frequently enough that like that could be real. But if it looks fishy, or like if you have any concern, I mean, I would just not respond to it or ask someone else. I don't know, get someone's opinion. But yeah, it's crazy. And you've got to talk to your elder people about this because it happens all the time. You've got to talk to your parents and say, like, if you hear that I'm stuck or whatever, you need to call me first or something. Like, I don't know. Or you need to have like a safe word. It's like crazy the amount of protection that you need to have in place.
Yeah. It's insane.
Are out there.
Yeah. And there I've heard stories of that where like they'll call and say, we have your daughter.
Yep.
And like, bring us this money. And
absurd.
Like, it's just insane what people do now.
Yeah. Wild.
So sad.
Well, moving on. Donna says that she never would have agreed to work with them if that's how they were going to run their business, because she is a very private person, as we all know, as is Ron, and which is one of the reasons I think they get along sometimes. Yeah. And I love Leslie's reaction when she says, what does she said? Oh, you want to put me on blast? I'm going to put you on Front Street. And Leslie's like, I don't know what that means, but I think I get the context. Let's go.
We're on the same page. Yeah. I like this, Leslie's so mad at Donna and Tom and Ron when they join Gryzzle, because she's like, they want this land just to do this thing. Like, they're a bad company. And they haven't shown that they're a bad company, right? At that point, they're the rival, and, they're heavy in tech. So it's really nice that to get Donna and Ron to kind of actually not be on their side, there is this actual moral issue that comes up to kind of sway them over.
Yes, I agree with that 100%. And I think that Donna and Ron are the ones that are they care a little bit more about their privacy. So they are the ones to topple. Cause I was kind of thinking about why Tom didn't get this, which I know he was, consumed with Andy, but I do feel like Donna and Ron are the ones to focus on. But also, I mean, what a great tool to like get them all together and to get them all on the same team.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause I mean, it was topical at the time, like just kind of a fear, and now we're living it. And so, yeah, that's crazy. I think Tom also is definitely going to be the person that's like, yeah, take my shit, tell me what I need to buy. Like, he wants them to be telling, locked in. So,
and it's free. He loves free stuff, and he loves stuff in general. So he loves things, baby. Like, yeah, absolutely. So he wouldn't care.
No.
Good point. Okay, so Craig comes to April and asks if she will introduce / have a welcome speech for the new parks interns, which I love this Craig thing that they wrote, giving him some character growth too, where he says 3 things that calm him down when he wants to yell. And I love the 3 things, or all of the pairings that they give him. But this first one is watermelon martinis, exposed brick, and Carrie Russell's hair. Oh my gosh, that sounds so good. Watermelon martini. And love the idea of Richard Nygaard coming back, because we haven't heard from him in a while since Chris left. So yeah, love that. A fellow Nygaardian, as they call him.
Yeah, a lot of things like we've been talking about that are like coming full circle in the last season. Like not necessarily making front row storylines, but that they're like sprinkled in to show, hey, we're still in Pawnee and the people are still living their life among these things that have happened throughout the seasons.
Totally. Yes, so good. And I love giving side characters growth too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, for sure.
So she says no at first, but then she says fine because she wants to steer them away from the parks department. And I was like, April, your lack of direction is not their problem. But I do understand that she's in her feelings about being directionless and not having her path figured out yet. Also, she's not old. I know the feeling of saying that, but she was like, now I'm old and I don't have a life. And I'm like, you're not old, honey. But I get it.
Girl,
I know
30 is not old. No. It feels old to start over at 30, but
sure.
But like there's an interview with Oprah of like when she like started making it, and when she I think she was in her 30s or 40s. Like it doesn't always happen right at the beginning of your life, and that's okay.
Right.
And
totally.
We'll get to what Craig walks her through later, but it's like, yeah, you are in your feelings, like you haven't wasted your time here, but you feel like you have, because now you're like 7 years behind on what you might have wanted to do, but you can't look at it like that.
Right. Yeah, totally. So anyhow, now we're at a city council meeting, which, yay, we haven't seen one of those in a while. Very exciting to get back to our roots. I love all these mantras / titles of things related to Gryzzle, by the way. Like her presentation is called Gryzzle. Are they as chill as they seem? ?
Yeah.
And then we've got one lady. Oh my gosh. Okay. So this is one of my most favorite parts. We get to everyone talking about, their personal story with Gryzzle. We've got this lady who says she sent her husband genital cream. They sent her husband genital cream, and that is no one's business but their own. And there are many genital doctors.
Yes. That poor guy.
Oh my God, I love this so much. And just like, I love the huge relationship that you get in just these 20 seconds of a lady fighting for her man because he needs the help of his doctors, which is really embarrassing. And it's like this, not trope, but like this kind of stereotype of like a shy guy that's with this strong woman because he needs her to help him, fight against these crazies in the world. And she's going to be the one that leads the charge. His genital problems. He needs his wife to help him out. Side note, we got voice memos from Shulie Cowen, who plays this gal. Oh my gosh, I love her so much. Which, by the way, her character name is Florence Ann Machine. That's brilliant. Not
that
Florence
is brilliant.
Machine, but Florence Ann, Anne, last name Machine.
Beautiful.
She's been in so many things. Oh my gosh. Two Broke Girls, How I Met Your Mother, Mr. Mayor. But what I remember her from and what I made sure that I had to tell her is from IO West. And as you guys know, I did improv back in my LA days. And she was the musical director slash cast member of a show called Opening Night. And it was a musical improv show. And I remember taking people to that show. In fact, I remember taking Sean, who did our theme song, when he visited me in LA. And I just remember when people would visit, if opening night was playing, I would take them because not many people are aware of musical improv or know how cool it is. And it's just like a really fun thing to go see because it's not only fun, but it's so smart and so brilliant and so fast that it's kind of insane to think that they just are making this up. And especially when they're really talented like this. And opening night, by the time I had seen them, I think had been around for quite some time. So like when an improv team has been together for a long time, they can really feed off each other and just like have that chemistry built in. And I'll always remember that. And it's called Opening Night because, you know, their theme was that it was both the opening and closing night of this musical that you'll never see it again.
Wow. Yeah.
Because this is made up and they make it up on the fly every time.
Yeah.
So I just remember she has a great voice and I just had to do that little breakdown because it's made such an impression on not only me, but on all the people that I took to that show. I remember Sean still talks about it still remembers it. We haven't talked about it in a while, but he still remembers it. Like if I bring it up. And that kind of led me to go not do myself, but to go see musical improv in Chicago when I went to Second City that I raved about. I went and I made my mom, not made them, but I asked and told everyone that I was going to the shows. If you want to come with me, great. If not, I must see more musical improv. And and as a singer, it was really fun to see too, because a lot of times these people do have good voices and sometimes they don't, but I also love that it's like it doesn't have to rhyme all the time, but opening night definitely rhymed and they were really smart with that, and most of them are, but like a lot of times it doesn't have to rhyme, it just has to be a story. And it really opened my mind to just the creativity and imagination you can have and how scary it it's scary for me, but I'm sure I don't know if it's scary for everyone else who's performing. So anyway, thank you for listening to my tangent. I just love them so much. Anyhow, so let's go ahead and play the first voice memo from Shulie. Thank you so much for sending that. That's so nice. And I can't wait to hear them. I have not listened to these yet because I actually just sent her the messages we had been corresponding. I think I sent it to her agent on Wednesday, but she didn't get it until I didn't send the questions to her till yesterday. And she was so fast about it. So, and I always say, like, if you can't get them to me, I can absolutely take them next time and we can put them in the next show. Just a little bit of how the sausage is made. But she got them to me so fast. So anyway, okay, let's go ahead.
Hi, guys. This is Shulie Cowen, and thank you so much for having me on your podcast. I wish I could remember the audition and sides. I'm certain I auditioned, and I'm certain it was fun, but I can't remember that part of it.
That's totally fine. I understand. It was a long time ago.
My day on set was a lot of fun. I knew Amy from touring together at the Second City in Chicago, so it was lovely to see her again. She was so sweet. Everyone who worked there was wonderful. And we got to shoot in the town building set. So everything was just beautiful and amazingly built. Like it felt like you were in a real place. It was really wonderful.
Yay. I love hearing when people have worked with Amy before. That's cool to know.
Yeah.
And the touring, I mean, a lot of people have done touring like with Second City. Steve Carell's pretty, and what's his name? Stephen Colbert also.
Yeah.
So that's always fun to hear. That's cool. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I love it when people recognize me from the show, but it is interesting when they come to me and say, "Doesn't your husband use many genital creams?" Which is nice to be remembered. Weird thing to be remembered for.
That's amazing.
Yes, it is amazing. I asked her specifically, like, how did you personally feel about those lines? Like, it was so funny because I try to ask actors that too. Like, I'd love to know how you feel getting those lines and saying those lines. It's just funny to me. But oh my gosh, I don't know if I would ever go up to someone and be like, "Oh yeah, you were the genital cream lady."
Yeah. I know the balls on those people to to bring it up that way. That's so funny.
Oh my God. But you know what? A recognize is a recognize. So that's,
Yep.
at least it's not, hopefully people aren't being mean.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, so I asked her what we can promote for her or if there's anything that we can talk about or go see her in. So this is what she's saying.
I perform once a month here in Los Angeles in a show called Opening Night, the Improvised Musical. And we've been running for over 25 years. We improvise a 2-act musical in an hour. So follow Opening Night, the Improvised Musical on Facebook or Opening Night, TIM on Instagram.
Yay! Okay,
That's
wait,
awesome.
Did she say where? Okay, I don't know where it is. So go ahead and follow her and then I'll post it in our show notes as well because you guys definitely need to see it. It's so good if you're in LA or if you're visiting LA or anything like that. So, and then the last thing I'll play. So she sent me a video that I'll also post in the show notes of a UCB short, or well, it's a trailer for a UCB movie or short or whatever it is, video. And it's about like the spring breakers and like that there's an ass contest for and out of I'm trying to give context to make what's happening make more sense, but it's just silly. So there's really no way for me to make it feel serious or for you to really understand without seeing it. But anyhow, and it's really fun to see the trailer because every one of those UCB people have been in parks. We've got Matt Besser, who played, I think, not the douche, the other one.
Crazy Ira.
Ira. Thank you. Crazy Ira. And then we've also got the guy who oh my God, I'm forgetting all their actual names. It's so awful. But the one who was in the where they had to do the test for the town and like the Eagleton was you know, like whatever. And he was
he was running the test.
Yeah, he was running the test. He's also in Veep, who is also really funny.
Yeah.
And then we've got the other guy who he was the one he was only in the I think his name's Ian. I can't remember his last name, but he was in season 1 like as one of the first people that was like yelling at Leslie in the school. I don't know if you remember, but they were in a school and they were in a classroom. And this was during the Anne time when Anne was in this classroom as well, and he yelled at her. That's the only time he's been in it, and he also played the Spirit Fingers guy in Bring It On, if you remember that too.
Always, of course.
So it's just really cool to see all these UCB people be in the show, but also just like I love seeing the growth / like where they started and older things that they've done to see how like the same yet different they are. It's just really fun to watch. So anyway, Shulie was saying that she was in this ass contest video for the UCB and she sang at the end and they were supposed to like overdub Amy's voice onto her voice. And she was like kind of the demo vocalist. But then they didn't take it out and it's really just her voice at the end. So I'll just go ahead and play that for you.
What are you doing here, Doreen?
I'm exercising my constitutional right to have an ass contest.
Don't you know what the people want? They want to see an ass contest. Want the right to show their booty and vote on who's the best. The people demand to know which butt is better than the rest. So put on your pants and let's have the ass. Just put on your pants and let's have an ass contest. You guys want to see a sweet booty?
Oh my gosh.
And then at the end, one of the UCB guys pulls down his pants and is like, you guys want to see a sweet booty? And then everyone, it's like a horror film. Everyone's like blocking their eyes and like screaming like ridiculous.
Oh, that's so
that
funny.
was Shulie's voice at the end. Singing.
Very great. It's awesome.
So thank you, Shulie, for sending all of that information and for answering our questions so quickly. Thank you. That was so fun. Oh my gosh. And I never would have seen that video had it not been for you. So
Yeah.
spreading the good word. All right. So, by the way, I wanted to say the actor's name who plays the husband is Buck Acosta, and his character name is literally Blotchy Bald Husband. I thought that was worth mentioning. What a thing to have on your resume.
Yeah, and not Machine, the last name, not the same last name or anything.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
funny.
that's so true. Yeah. So then we've got some more people in this town council. We've got Mike Scully back, which is amazing. We've already done a breakdown on him. He's a writer on Parks, but also a huge writer for The Simpsons. We've seen him many times at a lot of these city council meetings. And this scene is actually how I always describe him. He must have made a huge impression on me with this one. And in particular, these pigs made a huge impression on me because when we saw him at the beginning, I was like, there's a Ron pig that he has. And I remember this. And this is the scene that we're finally getting to. But his hobby is collecting celebrities as pigs, and this one is Samuel L. Jackson from Pulp Fiction instead of Pulp Fiction. Oh my god, that made my heart so happy.
They must have had so much fun with that. Like, who do we make this, and what? How can we make it like
the puns, the comedy?
Punny, yeah,
brilliant,
so great.
Oh my gosh. And I had written before we got to this point, I was like, wait, doesn't he have a Ron one too? And then we'll get there. But I'll talk about that in a second. So then we get a teenager who gets books in her Gryzzlbox, and she doesn't want her friends and her crush to know that she likes reading. What are they going to think? And I was like, oh, honey, that's a gift to read, and you're a catch because of it. But I get it, because high school's hard, and you don't want to be seen as a nerd.
Yeah.
This character, by the way, is played by Ava Capri, and her character name is Evangeline Popular, which I really love. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's great.
She is in 14 episodes of Love, Victor, which I have not seen, but I have heard great things about. But it's so popular, so I'll add it to my list. She was also in Pretty Little Liars Original Sin, which I believe is like a spin-off thing to the original Pretty Little Liars show. That's amazing.
Okay.
She was in a movie called Do Revenge, which is on Netflix. A lot of short films and upcoming things. Super cool. She looks very different from what she looked like on the show, obviously, because she was a teenager then. But she has all these like artistic, like super cool girl shots where she just looks so cool. Like, you know how Kristen Stewart, I feel, is like so vibey and cool nowadays when I see her on like pictures and stuff. That's what she like kind of gives me the vibes of. And I was like, oh my God, you're so cool. She is popular.
Very vibey.
She is Evangeline Popular. Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, we get the chanting man back, which is so exciting. Jeffrey Markle plays this role, and yay, he is coherent for one of the very first times, saying succinctly and well-spokenly that he thinks Gryzzle has no right to search their data. And this is where Leslie is so shocked because she is always expecting a fight at these city council meetings. And she's like, wait, you're not against me on this one? We're not against you on this.
I love this too, because I was just sitting there. I'm like, I think this is our last one in the series. Is it?
I don't know.
Or do we have another one?
That would be something to look at.
Yeah, and if it is our last one, what a way to come full circle in the final season of that everybody's with her. Like she's finally leading a city council meeting or a town hall meeting or whatever, a forum where she's getting buy-in with people. It's like it took all these years, but here I am.
Right. So true. Oh my gosh, that's so true. Best chant ever from Chanting Man. Well done.
Yes.
So she's saying now we have Gryzzle's Achilles heel. You know, the town is behind us. Donna's with them, who is working for Gryzzle. Now we need Ron as the next domino. And this is the part that I'm remembering with Ron's pig, because I'm getting it. Got it twisted in my memories, where this is actually a pig, Tom Selleck instead of Tom Selleck. So good. Close enough. But yeah, Leslie's like, that's Ron. It's close enough. He looks the same.
Yeah, they have the same vibe too.
Yes, they do have the same vibe. But I'd love to see Ron in the Hawaiian shirt like Tom Selleck. That would be funny.
Yeah.
So her expression when she judges him also from needing that pig back, oh my gosh, that's so funny. Like she just has this like wide eyes of like, okay, yes, of course you need it back. Okay. Well done, props people, by the way. Oh my gosh.
So good.
Those. All right, so now we're at JJ's with Ron and Donna. Leslie has made a scrapbook for February 2016 because Leslie is filling Ron in on her kid's life, and Ron does not really reciprocate at all, but at least he shows a picture. But he's protecting his kid's privacy by ripping it up after he shows it to Leslie.
Yeah, that's the Ron equivalent of a scrapbook to me. I feel like yeah. And we've always known that Ron doesn't like people to know anything about him. Like he throws the computer away when Google Maps has a picture of his house. But I really love how they are sprinkling in what's going to be the catalyst at the end for him, like right now, so that it's in our head fresh.
Absolutely. Yes. Some foreshadowing. So, yes, this kid is very cute, and I like that it has him chopping wood or whatever. But
Yeah.
also, I was wondering why he didn't show a picture of the girls. They're still his kids, too.
Yeah. Yeah. They are. We haven't seen them in a long time. I wonder if it's
Oh.
harder because we've seen them in the show. I wonder if it's harder to get a picture of them.
Maybe. I don't know. That's true. Okay, so Leslie thinks that he's going to go nuts after learning what Gryzzle is doing. She's like really expecting him to freak out. She's like, we're going to get him. But he doesn't really care because it doesn't affect him. And I'm sorry, okay, but this is like classic Republican libertarian moment shit, like where just because it doesn't affect you or your family directly, you don't give a shit. It doesn't mean it doesn't
Yeah.
matter, Ron.
Yeah, come on, man.
But again, I guess this is, and some people just don't see it until it happens to them. But like you said, this is the part where we really see that if it did happen to him, which it does, spoiler alert, that he's going to go crazy. So,
Yeah.
but this is where also Ben was like, well, it's illegal. Like, I thought you would have cared about it being like them not being cool if you're working for them. And Ron is like, I don't think it actually is illegal because I've spent a lot of time with them and their lawyers, and they would, as they say, keep it 100, aka not have something illegal, which leads us to believe that there might be some sort of loophole or something going on for them to do this, which is again a little bit of a foreshadowing moment.
Yeah.
And this is where Donna says, well, look, they still think I work for them, so I can get you a VIP tour, be like a double agent, if you will.
Yeah.
Which leads us to, oh my gosh, my favorite Leslie and Ben costumes. I think these are amazing, these outfits. Like I said last week, like the wardrobe just giving so much detail and comedy and energy to the scene. I love it. They're being hipsters, trying to dress like similarly, but a little bit more indie than the Ron's Cabin people. That's what this reminded me of, you know?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, with the glasses and the hat for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Ben's got his fedora thing. Leslie has her glasses and French beret and trench coat. I always thought this would be a fantastic couple costume, by the way. I'm sure people have done it, but that would be so fun.
Subtle, but you know what it is.
Right.
You know?
And it doesn't even have to be like a couple boyfriend, girlfriend. Like I feel like girlfriends could do this too.
Yeah, for sure.
Niche, but great. No one would really know who you are, but that's okay.
Yeah.
So Roscoe comes in to give them a tour, which I think is kind of funny that it's him and not an underling giving this tour. However, it does need to be him so they can have their little clash at the end in a way.
Yeah.
But they've given each other these names, these, doppelganger names. Darlene Johansson, and this is my assistant turned lover, Gregory Strong. She gets way too detailed with this. If you're going to lie, you got to keep it to a minimum.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Which, by the way, IMDb told me that this is a Game of Thrones reference for the character The Mountain, a.k.a. Gregor Clegane, a.k.a. Robert Strong.
Yeah.
So now we have the interns with April, and the first intern says he loves the Parks Department. He grew up near Remset Park, and he loves the activities and everything they provide. And I love this for him. I think it's great. Yeah.
Yeah, what a way to be like, how am I going to spend my summer? Well, I love the parks. I wonder if there's something to do there. So cool.
Yeah. I love it. And you know what? I agree. I think it's really like astute, or maybe, I don't know what the word is, profound, that a high schooler, I'm guessing maybe a college student would understand that, because I am an adult just now understanding like the significance of the Parks Department, not just because of this like episode and this podcast, but I've always loved the Parks Department, don't get me wrong, but I think when you really analyze it and think about like where's a free place to take your kid when school's out, there's pools, there's activities, there's pottery classes, yoga classes, there's just like so much stuff that the Parks Department does that I think people aren't really aware of who all is putting it on. Like you think that park just like came out of nowhere and people don't have to run it, and there's park rangers and stuff like that. So how profound for a college student who maybe doesn't have all of that analytical, awareness to understand that. So I think that's really beautiful that they wrote that in.
Agreed. I love it.
And I love how professional and reasonable and ready he is. Very well spoken. This is played by Dallin. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Dalon. Dallin? I'm so sorry. Jay Holland. And his character name is Percy Cat Tube is his last name.
Okay.
CAT Tube. Cat Tube.
All right. Interesting.
And I did reach out to his agent, and he followed us back on Instagram, but I haven't heard from him, so I might message him on Instagram and see if he's available. So we'll see. He's been in a lot of cool things. SWAT, Cloak and Dagger. Looks like he's also worked on as the crew for some projects. So that's really cool to be dipping your toe in both of those, cast and crew. Then she calls this next intern Mork instead of Mike because she's being April, which is hilarious. Yep. But he loves parks too. He loves being a summer camp counselor. He's done that since he was 13. He's so precious. His energy, his excitement. I love both these guys.
Me too. And it's like, I don't know why you would want to like dissuade these people from the parks department, because they're like the incoming Leslies. They've got the excitement for it.
Well, that's why. That's totally why she's asking them. You know what I mean? She's trying to find somebody that is not really into it, which we do get.
Here we
eventually. Go. But this actor, the second actor, is played by Jimmy Bellinger. His full character name is Mike Harlmton. I don't even know how you'd say that. It's like Harmpton, but with a random L in between, which is totally Mike Schur's thing, because that's what he says when you'll just throw a random letter into an actual last name, and that's how you can get it past licensing. But he's been in a lot of stuff too. George and Mandy's First Marriage. My mom watches that. Super cute. He was in Shameless, the movie Blockers with Ike Barinholtz, Freakier Friday, which I haven't seen yet.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet either.
Yeah. Not Dead Yet, which was a super funny show, but that has sadly been canceled. I think that ended 2024 is when that ended. But I stalked his IG, his Instagram a little, and he does boxing too. And his wedding pictures are super sweet and very cute. And he got married last year, so congratulations. Very precious.
That's awesome.
And then this is where we get to Jen, who has the same energy as April. And we learn that the only reason she's doing it is because of college credit and not because she actually cares about it like these other two kids. And April zooms in on her and really gets her. And Jen is played by Talina Chikami. I'm so sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Oh my gosh.
It's a cool name.
Yeah, very cool. I love it. Her character name is called Invinci with 2 I's at the end.
Like Avicii?
Is that what it is? What's Avicii?
The singer.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And this one is Invinci instead of Avicii. Okay, cool. She was in Austin and Ally, where she plays a goth girl as well. So she has that kind of in her range. She was also in Faking It, a project called I Kissed a Vampire, Ray Donovan, Jane the Virgin. But she is a singer of a ska band called Bite Me Bambi. Oh my gosh. And I follow them on Instagram. So I'll keep you posted. And she's in all the music videos for that too. So that was obviously on her IMDb as well. But yeah, super fun. I love learning when they have like such different lives than what, is obviously in the show.
Right.
So I love that.
Awesome.
All right. So at Johnny Karate, Burley is there, which is so exciting. He's in the scene with Johnny Karate. He's tied up and he gets the puppy army attack, which I love this. What a great villain thing to have, that the puppies are hated by this person.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Such cute kids and puppies.
They obviously don't have a very high acting budget because they're probably not paying Burley very much.
Right.
It's just true. Can you come in and hang out with me at the studio for a couple hours?
Right, totally. Oh my gosh, that's so true. So then we get a crew member saying lunch, everyone back in 30 minutes, they take a break. Side note, this is exciting. The guy who shouts this is named Steve Day, and he's the first AD on Parks, the first assistant director.
Cool.
He's like the actual crew member for Parks. He also worked on The Good Place, Veep, Wine Country, Hacks, Moxie, Rutherford Falls, like literally everything we love.
Wow.
And everything that Amy and Mike Schur are kind of like in the world of. Love that. So fun in that community. And I couldn't find his contact info. Like, he doesn't have that listed on IMDb, sadly. But I really want to have a full interview with him because that'd be so awesome to talk to a first AD. We haven't talked to an AD yet. We've talked to directors and writers, but not an AD and producers. But I really, so I've got to do some research on that. Steve Day is his name. If anyone knows him, let me know.
Yeah.
And did a tiny bit of a breakdown in case you're not like in the entertainment industry. A first assistant director, which I kind of, I just wrote a little summary moment / did some research to see what the best way to describe it was. But they manage the logistical operations of a project. So they kind of act as a bridge between the director and the cast and the crew, really. So they coordinate the shooting schedule. They enforce like safety protocols, direct the flow of the day, which allows the director to really focus on the creative vision of directing the scene and how they want to get the project done and visually and all that kind of stuff. So they're doing like the logistical stuff, the first AD is. And I think that's really important. They're kind of like a stage manager in a lot of ways, but except for different,
Yeah.
And it probably, I mean, it's probably a dumb question, but I was wondering if ADs actually really do shout like, okay, that's lunch. Like, I feel like they probably would, right? And also like I think the director says action, but the first AD could probably do that too. I don't know. So that's why I want to talk to him. So I have questions.
Yeah. That'd be really cool.
Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of cool. So anyhow, this is where we're talking about the agent thing where Tom's being the agent and he's kind of being sleazy because he's reminding us at his other job he also doesn't do any of the work, but he gets the profit just like with agents doing not much of the work but getting the profit. But I think agents do a lot of work if they're a good agent, you know what I mean? But also I wonder if that's meta because the people who wrote this all have agents, so they probably have had some interesting / bad experiences, perhaps, who knows.
Very
but
possible.
Also like I had a little bit of a moment too where I was like, Tom, you just told us you were working on new recipes. Like, I feel like you're trying to stay in your sleazy Tom phase, but like you are working, you are contributing. You're not just like being a sleazy sleazeball and collecting all the profit, not doing anything at all. Like you worked hard on it too.
Yeah, and he had to work hard to get it going.
Yeah. So, I mean, I know a part of him is probably still that sleazy Tom, but I feel like he's just trying to stick to his like, I don't know, what's comfortable for him, but whatever. I'm just proud of him for doing work, and he doesn't seem to be giving himself that credit / moving on from his like sleazy vibe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. So true.
All right. So now we get to the station manager, Hank Montauk, which I love that name. Hank Montauk and Dan Candle are probably my top two favorites.
So good.
And this is Dax Shepard. We get a Dax Shepard cameo, who most people know him now from his famous podcast, but he was definitely an actor before this as well, or before the podcast, I should say. He was a series regular on Parenthood, if anybody remembers that show. He had obviously other acting gigs too before that, but he's a fun station manager. He did a good job with this.
Yeah. He's good at this kind of thing. And he's kind of good at the sleazy, like, I'm not a good guy vibe. Right. Even though he seems like he's a good guy in real life.
Yeah. I know he's had some controversial things. Some people don't like him in real life. So
that's fair. I don't know that much about him. I just know he's married to Kristen Bell and I love Kristen Bell.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. That too. They have their own thing going on, which I did. I have like a funny fan theory where I was like, oh my God, that would be so funny because Kristen Bell's character is running city council now, or like on Leslie, not running, but like in Leslie's seat. And I feel like that would be a fun moment to like think that they're married in the show because she like, fell for a Pawnee boy, even though she's a Littleton princess.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So good.
So Tom says he gets great ratings in 3 cities. Andy does. He has tons of followers on GryzzleTube, aka YouTube. He's going to go over to the rival station in Snorling if he doesn't pick it up. So, like, get it together. And Hank just says he's going to upgrade the parking lot, but only if his kid gets a role on the show. So that's not really much of an upgrade. It's like you've still got to add things. But Tom's does well here, I think, where he says, like, they always say that they don't have the money, but they really do. And I like Tom when he says, like, I've seen your profit reports. I've seen that you do have the money. Stop fucking around, essentially, which I like because that's so true. Even in corporate worlds, or a lot of times more in corporate worlds, they're like, no, we just don't have the money for raises, but they do.
Yeah. Well, and I think it shows growth for Tom, right? He just had this sleazy moment, but it's like he learned something from Ben. Like when he was asking Ben to look at all the reports for him, like he actually was paying attention. Because now he can go look at a report by himself and be like, oh, like, I know what's going on here.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I loved that little, like, Oh, he's grown too,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Me too. So he says he wants 500 a week, not 100. And this is the part, again, that I was talking about where Hank is like, do you know how lucky you are to be working here? Like, do you know how much, like, you know, fun this is for you and how many people don't have this job? And I'm like, luck doesn't pay the bills, honey. Okay.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
500 still seems low for how much he does.
Yeah, exactly. Although he does take out the janitorial duties at the
That's great.
a literal salaried job for a lot of people. Okay, so that's insane that he was doing that.
I know. Oh my gosh.
So this is the part where I hate Hank because I'm like, don't tell me how lucky I am to be working here. Do you know how lucky you are to have me bringing in all the fucking profit? Hello?
Yeah, for real.
Anyways. All right, moving on. So April says to Jen that this internship leads to nowhere. And Jen says that, because April's asking her what she wanted to be when she was growing up. And Jen says that she wanted to be a mermaid that leads sailors to their death, which is so cute and totally April's vibe, which is why she wants to adopt her, which I think is really cute for April to even say that.
Yeah.
They could be friends, or April could be the mentor to Jen. You know, that would be fun.
Yeah.
Maybe we need a little side fan fiction moment of that.
Well, yeah, because I mean, April, like, she's acting like she's had an awful time here the entire time. She's found things that she's liked to do.
Right. Right. So this is, so then she gets to her saying, don't take this job, which is sucky because without this job, April would probably be even more directionless, like not have anything going on. She would be literally just staring at the wall, I feel. Like, even if she doesn't love this job now, and we'll get to what Craig says, like, she now has skills and work experience for her resume. I don't think she would have had a resume if it wasn't for this job, or like know how to, send an email or you know what I mean? Like, be professional.
Yeah.
And I know April isn't there yet to think of this, like, of her skill set that she's acquired in this job, but to ruin someone else's work experience and think Jen is going to turn out just like her is selfish. And we all know that, and April knows that too, but she's just, again, not there yet to understand what she's doing quite yet. But a part of me thinks she does know what she's doing. She's just like so overtaken by how shitty she feels about not having her future planned out, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. She's definitely projecting here. And I think you could still mentor and be honest, but not be so like, don't work here. Like you could say, hey, there's some really good times I've had here. This is what I'm dealing with right now. Like, I knew back then I didn't want to do this and I leaned into it and now I feel behind. But like, hey, this will give you really good experience. So for the summer, it's a great, and just, I'm here to help you find what you want to, if there's something else you want to do. Like, she could have mentored differently.
Right. Totally. Anyway. Oh, and also I was wondering, is this the first time we're like seeing this commissary / like lunch place? Because it looks kind of cute. I don't feel like I've ever seen it before.
No. Is it the one that like they try to get Jerry in for his retirement day?
Oh, no, it's a totally
finally
different
we're
one.
Inside. It's totally different. Okay. Yeah. Well, I don't think we've ever seen that.
Yeah. It's like a cafeteria and like not a, like the fancy place that they try to get Jerry into. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
So Matt comes up and April crushes his dreams paper, which is so awful. I hate that. But this kid does a great job. It's really good.
Yeah.
Okay, so back at Gryzzle, we're getting the tour of the building and seeing all the new apps. I do like that composer app thing that they have, like, and people on VR machines, like the music notes going across the like projection or whatever.
Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah. And then we get this worker introducing the app that tracks your moods. So casually, he says, as you know, the cameras on your phone are always on, whether you're using them or not.
Big fear of mine. Hate that.
Yeah.
Like, whenever I'm done with video calls, I slide the thing back over the camera on the computer.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, they say that that's what that was a whole thing where people say to put tape over your camera because people could be like hacking into your computer and looking. I don't know how accurate that is or real, but I mean, I wouldn't put it past hackers to try to do that.
I wouldn't either.
Okay, so this actor is played by Sean Clements. His character name is Matt Murbles, which I thought sounded familiar. And the NPR Pawnee radio host is Derry Murbles. And I was like, oh my God, are they related?
Aww. I love that.
I know. So funny. Okay, so he's a writer and an actor. He wrote on Workaholics. He also wrote on Kevin Can F Himself, which I'm sorry, I hadn't heard of it, but it's with the sister on Schitt's Creek, who I love. I think it was a pretty big show, but he also wrote on The Grinder, which is the Rob Lowe and Fred Savage show I was talking about, that had Natalie Morales, aka Lucy, in it, which was really cool crossover. He's also a UCB writer. He's acted in a lot of the shows that he wrote on, but he was also in Curb Your Enthusiasm and Comedy Bang Bang and other cool things. So yeah, super exciting. But he looks totally different in his IMDb picture versus this, which I know was a long time ago, but yeah, it's funny. This app, though, that he's talking about uses facial recognition to track your moods, and depending on your mood, it leads you to buy coffee, essentially, which is what I was talking about before, kind of, where I was like, okay, so this is where the ads / the money grabs from other companies come in, because it was, he leads you to believe that we're going to be tracking your moods to help you, like, feel better, but it's really just like, go get coffee depending on your mood.
Yeah. Which then he says we're in development with Starbucks. So it's not even like, oh, you're in this kind of mood. This is the coffee shop you should go to because of the vibe. It's like, we're just going to send you to Starbucks.
Yeah, totally. Oh my gosh. Leslie asks, kind of trying to be nonchalant. She asks, like, are you guys like data mining ? And Roscoe straight up admits, like, oh hell yeah. Like, we're doing it. And he's very confident, doesn't care that it is like morally wrong. Banking, medical records. This is the stuff that is in real life probably actually illegal. But who's to say with their lawyers and stuff that they have. And it's really gross. He said that he calls tampons pawns, because he's like, we can anticipate what you guys need before you even need it. Like, when you ladies need some pawns. Ew, fuck off, bro. I hate you.
So gross.
In that moment.
Did not like that.
Anyways, so he knows it's Leslie and Ben because of all the geo maps and the face scans. And so, like, he was just playing along with their, outfits and wardrobe and stuff like that. And side note, they didn't even really touch on the AI part of all of this, but they would have had a field day, I feel, with all the AI shit and data centers that there's going on. Pawnee would be like definitely going through a data center fight right now.
Yeah, agree. Hard agree.
Anyway, okay, so also worth mentioning that Paws is on his shirt instead of Jaws, which I really like. The cat shirt.
So cute. I loved that too.
And again, with the Gryzzle thing, again, random, worth mentioning though, the Gryzzle mantra of, wouldn't it be tight if everyone was chill to each other?
Gosh.
So dumb. Sure. And then Leslie suggested debate, and he thinks TV is retro, which I was like, how though? But I guess that's true because of all the streaming and iPads and stuff, and not like an actual TV.
Yeah, and it seems like this would be like a cable show, kind of like Judge Judy.
Yeah. All right. So speaking of the Judge Judy moment, we're at the Purdple's court, which, oh my gosh, how convenient his name was Purd / starts with P, so it could be like a pun for the people.
So good.
And it is interesting that there's issues. He says it's issues for the people of Southern Indiana, which is funny because it's not just Pawnee, ? Interesting.
Yeah.
Love all the disclaimers at the beginning and at the end and throughout the show that Purd is not a real judge.
Yep. Very important to know.
Absolutely. So Leslie is against Gryzzle, and Leslie is very confident because she has the support of the public. But now what they need in her talking head, she says, is what Americans really want and respect: public humiliation on live television, which is what Purd's show will do.
Yes.
So Ron comes up to them, and they're surprised that he's there because he wouldn't be at this normally. But he says, don't go on TV. He brings this giant contract agreement thing for the free Wi-Fi, and turns out you need a magnifying glass to read the fine lines literally, which is a great way to be so literal about like making sure if you sign a contract or check things off, like you are really reading it, and you can't see it with the naked eye. And all these amendments that directs you to like the appendix, which directs you to a sub footnote. It's like all these things. And we learned that the revision date of all this stuff was December 18, 2015, which was the opening day of Star Wars Episode 7. So they knew Ben would be distracted and they slipped it in.
Yep. And that is the exact release date. So when they filmed this, they knew when it was coming out.
Oh my gosh. Crazy. Oh my gosh. And this is where Ben starts to blame himself. And instead of everyone saying like, no, it's not Icetown. Well, Leslie does, but everyone else is like, yeah, it is Icetown again. You should really make sure that you know what the hell you're doing before you sign a big contract like this. Oh no,
Yeah.
it makes him feel so bad.
I know. And I think Leslie's the reason. I mean, she's his wife. So that helps that of why she's like comforting him. But also she's the only one that really saw what that was like for him, because she went and visited Icetown with him, or it wasn't like Icetown, but where he grew up with him, and saw how he was treated. And so I think she immediately jumps to, oh my gosh, no, it's not like that. Like, it's not going to be to that level.
Right.
Whereas nobody else has that like visual of what that did to him.
Yeah, totally. That's a good point. She's seen him break down about this. Yeah, that makes total sense. I do love that Ron asks, is Star Wars the one with a little wizard boy?
I can't.
The way he says it is just really funny.
It is really funny. Very well done.
And also, I do want to just point this out too. I meant to play it when we were on the tour, but I kind of forgot about it. And now that we're on the data mining thing on TV, I'm going to play this deleted scene. It's another app that Gryzzle has created, and it's called Gryzzle MD, about like your doctor's notices and stuff. Again, with the crazy, illegal, maybe potentially data mining. But anyway, here's this deleted scene.
These Gryzzle techs are brain jamming on the new Gryzzle MD. It's this patch that monitors your temperature, syncs with your medical records, and then makes doctor's appointments for you. Here, roll up your sleeve.
You need more vitamin D.
Right?
That's true, babe. You never go outside. Okay, my turn.
You eat too much sugar.
Well.
You are deficient in nearly every vitamin. You need more sleep. You have never flossed.
What? This thing is buggy. You guys need to fix the technology on that.
That's so funny.
It is so funny. Oh my gosh, I love that they bring this up all the time, because we haven't really talked about Leslie's eating habits in a while.
No, we haven't. And that was a really like clever way to do it. I would totally have something like that. I know that this is like intrusive, but it's like to just be able to go up and put your like hand on something or whatever, and it's like, this is what's going on. I'm like, all right, cool. Saves me a trip to the doctor.
I think that's kind of what they're doing with the Nora ring, whatever the fuck that's called, Fitbit.
Oh, the Aura ring, yeah.
Aura ring, yeah. And all these things that do monitor that kind of stuff. Maybe not the vitamin D and the flossing and all that kind of stuff, but yeah, I mean, we're kind of getting close, I feel, to having that.
Yeah.
Which is kind of wild. But yeah, I guess when it's used properly, it could be something that would work. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyhow, while we're here, I also wanted to play it. I didn't play this either, but while we're on the deleted scene train, we talked about Burley, and if this was Burley's last like moment with not last moment, but how he's been paid, or if he's been paid or whatever. There is a deleted scene that I forgot to play. Can I just play it here? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Great job, Burley. Natural talent like you could use an agent. What do you think?
Wow, yeah, maybe. I'd like to spend some time with you first, though, to see if we vibe creatively.
Great job, bud. You crushed it.
Hey, thanks, man. It's all pretend. You know that, right?
Yeah. Let's go meet with your station manager. I'm going to get you a better deal. You're a star, Andy. You don't need to be doing a bunch of extra jobs for no money.
You're totally right. I just need a few minutes. I got to sweep up, put away some props, and I still have to place the pyrotechnics for the third act finale.
Andy, no. Let's go.
Oh, my gosh.
So much in that 30 seconds of Burley being like, I just want to be professional and really make sure that we're working together correctly and on the same page, which is such a valid response to working with someone. And he's like, no.
No, that's more work than I was willing to put in.
Yep. And the fact that Andy is doing pyrotechnics, no.
I would never trust him with that. That's ridiculous.
No. Actually, that was kind of perfect, because the next scene, we're back with the station manager, and Tom and Andy are there, and he says, no more janitorial duties, better parking, which is great, unlimited Mike and Ike's. Okay, I guess that's a nice perk, but not really what we're after. And then the salary does get to $500 a week, which is great. That's what we wanted. But then we get to the point of the rights to Johnny Karate, and he says he can't bend on that. And he's like, well, create another one, what, and then starts naming all of these other character names, and they are kind of funny.
Yeah, they're good.
But Andy sticks to his guns and listens to Tom and says, you know what? I'm just going to walk. I'm going to go to a different place if you can't bend on that. And I love this little talking head with Hank. He says that he has lower Great Lakes Emmy Awards. And I was like, is that real? And it is. That is a real thing. I did not realize that. There is a dedicated Central Great Lakes chapter of the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences. And they host the regional Emmy Awards. And I think there are regional Emmy Awards. So, okay, Hank, fine. I guess that's something. But also, you wouldn't have had those if it wasn't for the cast that gave them to you too. So be humble, bitch.
Yeah.
But yeah, what a hard thing. Because I mean, maybe Hank is the one that hired him too and found him. I don't know. But that doesn't mean that you can't negotiate and be cool. Be chill, as Gryzzle would say.
Be chill. Yeah.
So, and it's also really funny about the reasons why Andy will regret this, because the Emmy Awards are really all he has going for him. Because when he says he has, like the reasons why he's a hotshot, essentially, like one of them being that he sat in the original Batmobile, and the other one is that James Woods follow his niece on Twitter. Like such a funny way to say that he's in a smaller market / very big fish in a very, very small pond.
Yeah. Yeah. Very far removed too.
Mm-hmm. So now Donna and Ron are mad at Ben, and Leslie's trying to talk Ben down, like, oh dear, like, you know, you made a mistake, but I think anyone could have done this. Like, it's confusing on purpose. You know what I mean? Even if he wasn't distracted by Star Wars, I'm sure he wouldn't have missed it or been as distracted if it wasn't for Star Wars. But like the fact that you needed a literal magnifying glass to do that, like, come on.
That's a problem.
You know?
Yeah.
So this is when April is talking to Craig and saying that she convinced Jen to leave. And this is the Craig moment we were talking about, which I love this Craig moment. He tells April, like, hey, you working here was not a wash. You didn't have a terrible time. And you did amazing things with this department. You grew and you created the animal, or you combined the animal control and the parks department. That was a big deal. You were mentored by the Leslie Knope. I love the respect, by the way, that he has for Leslie. That's so wonderful to show.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great. Even in his short time working with her, he was able to see like what she did for the parks department.
Yeah. And yeah, like he says, you know, what I said before, like she would have been even more directionless probably without this job, you know? So I think, and like no business experience, no nothing to back up like that you can work, you know what I mean? So I feel like, but like I said, I understand where April's coming from, but that was kind of shitty, but she makes up for it, as we'll talk about later.
Yeah.
And the next list also of Craig's to calm himself down is sweet potato pie, unlikely animal pairings, Jennifer Love Hewitt. I love his little smile at the end.
Yeah.
And I think it did answer our question that he's in Ron's office, so he must have Ron's job.
Yeah.
So
he might. Yeah.
Wonder who's doing Leslie's job, or if he's doing both.
Great question.
Leslie starts speaking like Perd, which is hilarious, while she's on the stand, like spouting nonsense to bide time and just kind of saying word salad. And Perd loves it, by the way. Extremely well put. And again, with the disclaimers, I love every time they say Judge Perd, they have a thing at the bottom that says, you know, he's not a judge, just FYI.
Yeah.
And then we get one of my most favorite Ben moments in the whole world, which I have talked about this. I remember talking about this. So, long. What's the word for that? I remember talking about this a lot, at length is what I should say, about the Wi-Fi thing with my troubles. If you've been listening to this podcast for a while, I live in a rural town that does not have Wi-Fi, or like cable Wi-Fi. You have to have satellite Wi-Fi, and most people have Starlink, and I do not want to support Elon Musk and his bullshit. So I don't have that, but I do have T-Mobile now, and that is good. That's also a satellite one though, but it's capped because for whatever the fuck reason, I can only use a certain amount of megabytes, and I work from home, so I have to be very careful. I watch a lot of my stuff on like using my personal hotspot. Like when I do my workout videos, I use the personal hotspot, and even that has a cap, by the way. So it's just like insane to me. And so I love when Ben comes in and has that line of like, Wi-Fi is not optional anymore. Like internet, I should say, is not optional. The way that we have built the world, which in a lot of ways is so great, and everything is accessible to everyone, like, you know, but anyway, so I love this moment when he says that what they're doing is technically not illegal, which this part doesn't have anything to do with the Wi-Fi. This is just the data mining. But It's definitely not chill. And that is brilliant from Ben. That's their whole
Yeah.
mantra. That's a really big insult, slap in the face. And
Well
he says
done.
as much, where Roscoe says, that's a serious allegation, homie.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, he hit him where it hurt, so they were thinking about it.
That's so true. Side note, there is a deleted scene where Leslie says, like, are you sure you don't want to go on the air? Because Ben has a cease and desist letter that he wants Leslie to give to Roscoe that he drew up. And it reminds us, which I totally forgot, that Ben is not good on live TV. But after you see this, you kind of forget about that moment because he was great on live TV at this moment. And so he's grown up so much to make this like succinct, professional, well-spoken speech and make these like really great points about like how you're taking advantage of the common man and woman and citizens, you know? So I just wanted to play this deleted scene though, because it is really funny.
The Gryzzlbox program's so tight. I mean, it knows exactly what you want before you do.
I'm sorry, has the definition for chill changed? Because, frankly, this is a bummer.
Whoa, what's your damage, man? I mean, we sent all of you guys presents tailored to your exact desires. I mean, Gryzzle is basically Santa Claus.
An omnipotent home invader who's constantly watching us? Actually, a pretty good analogy. But, more importantly, I am sorry that I let you down, Pawnee. And I will work very hard to correct this mistake.
Tap, tap, tap. Case ended.
Wow. Ben, you were so great, babe. You went on live TV and you weren't even nervous.
Yeah, I guess so. I didn't even think about the fact that there are cameras.
It's okay.
Is there a bird in here? I swear I can hear a bird.
Okay, let's go.
Do you not hear a bird?
He always hears a bird.
Yeah, that's so funny.
Oh my God. Yeah. So when he starts to like panic, he looks into the camera, directly into the camera. But that's what's so funny, because he looked directly into the camera when he says, I'm sorry, Pawnee. He like is speaking directly to us. And that's really special. And I kind of wish that they didn't cut that part, because I mean, I get why they did, because they got it across in the same way with the time constraints. But that really sets us up for when he runs for a certain something later on. You know, when he's like talking to the citizens and being like, I'm going to make this happen for you.
Yeah.
So anyway, but yeah, so that was a funny one. That he's like, Panicky Ben is the best. Adam Scott does such a great job.
I know. He's really honed that skill for sure.
Yeah. And I love this too. I think this is a really good point that, for when when Roscoe says, if you don't like it, you don't have to use our shiz. And I love this point that Ben makes, that we kind of do.
Yeah.
There, like we said, it's not optional. Number one. Number two, Pawnee, that is their option for Wi-Fi. There is no other option. They could use, and this is like the equivalent, I feel, of an Elon Musk type of situation that I am in, where you can either choose not to and not have internet, or like have it capped like I have to try to be moral. But which, by the way, I'm pretty positive that T-Mobile uses fucking Starlink satellites anyways. So I really don't think that there's anything I can do about that, because like I said, I have to have internet for work. I work from home.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, it's just like, it also reminds me not only of internet, but like just these big corporations where like we do have to kind of use them. They've created this like monopoly in a way, like Amazon, Home Depot, the big box stores, where it's the only place that you can get certain things without it being a terrible price. I mean, that is why people use Amazon so much, because of the price in a way, but also the convenience, I feel.
Yeah.
And I just feel like your hands are tied in a lot of ways with these awful companies. I don't even have Amazon anymore, because I don't need it and I don't want it. But if I did have it, I'd probably get it for Prime, because they do have some good shows on Prime. But regardless, like, it's like your hands are tied a lot of the times with these corporations. And so I think it's a really good point for Ben to bring up, like, citizens can be trapped by these corporations that are making so much fucking money by you, and you are in debt, and Roscoe is a millionaire. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so it's like, I really am glad that he said that. He makes the great point about you shouldn't have to have an advanced law degree. You should be upfront and allow people the ability to opt out. And that is what we've been saying about AI, when all these celebrities, who, by the way, have stocks in AI, are trying to convince you, like, AI is here to stay, like, just embrace it, whatever, it's not going away. And I do agree to a point that it can be a tool, like we've talked about this before, but if people don't want to use it, then they shouldn't have to. You know what I mean? And what what I think AI can be used as a tool for is like things that humans can't actually do. Like, logistical tasks and like splicing, like even with videos and stuff. Sometimes I think Riverside uses AI to like record and whatever, but like it can't replace the creativity and the emotion that humans can create.
Yeah.
And that is what's a big, huge thing in Hollywood right now. They are replicating like imagination and creativity and human connection. And that is where it gets tricky for me, because when AI tries to replicate connection, it fails on every level, because these chatbots are what is literally killing teenagers and people, because there have been stories, more than one, of people, and I don't mean to get dark, but this is what I mean when I say AI is dangerous, because it is telling people how to off themselves, how to not be connected with people, or like they're factually incorrect. That is something that you have to, AI is scraping a bunch of things, and so it's not always correct. And so that's also where it's tricky too. Like if you're using it for factual, like something that you're teaching, like for education, like you can't use AI for that. You have to like really fact check, like, and that's what I mean when I say it can be used as a tool. But for these like artists that are created, like those ones on Spotify, that's like an AI artist that's like chart topping. I'm like, are you being serious? It's so dangerous. So anyway, I know that was a tangent, that we're not talking about AI, but I think that we could get there, honestly.
Yeah.
So I love Jorma's performance here, where it's so nerdy and ashamed, and his like body language, like he gets it. It makes sense that what he's doing is not chill. And it's a wonderful Ben moment. So hot, so smart. And Perd says he's stumped, which is dumb because there's clearly a winner.
Yeah.
Okay. But he says it's a mistrial. He doesn't have his judge hammer. And I love this disclaimer gavel at the bottom.
Gavel. I know, that was so good when that came on the screen.
Yes. And this is where Steve Day comes back. This is the guy who says like, and we're clear. That's a reminder. That's the first AD. Then we get to Andy saying that he's going to be a janitor somewhere else, because at this point he's walked away so he can have Johnny Karate rights, which I think is both funny, and I'm so saddened by him being excited about minimum wage.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Andy.
But Tom got the rights. He cried to Hank, I'm so glad they showed us this scene and they didn't cut that, because, oh my gosh, this is what he said he did in like season 1 or 2 or something, when he says he just cries to get his way. I'm so glad he did it this time for good, like for the good cause, Ugh, love that.
Yeah.
All right, so back at the Parks Department, April has gathered 1 million interns for Craig to choose from, which is really nice. She did the right thing, and that's nice. And she does say sorry. She says the words, "I'm sorry." I kind of was wondering if she should have gotten Jen back, actually, and like told her to try it. Just
come get the experience, see if you like it. Yeah.
Yeah. That was kind of weird that she just got all these new people. But I'll let it slide.
I see that.
But this is great foreshadowing, and I think they 100%, this is my take on it, I think they 100% knew that what she was going to eventually do as her job, because she said, but maybe they didn't know, but I think they did, because this is great foreshadowing, where she says she really enjoyed finding them, and she really liked telling them what to do and where to be. She baked cookies, which love that. Her mentor Leslie Knope definitely rubbed off on her, which I love that. And she says she enjoyed telling Jen not to take the job. So Craig says you should add telling people what to do to your perfect job description, which again is some foreshadowing if you've seen the show before. Which, by the way, does everyone know that April's looking for a new job, like except Leslie? I wouldn't have anticipated that Craig seems to know, but
yeah, that is weird. I thought about that as well, because it was my understanding that it was just Ben at this point, and Andy.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
Very interesting.
Yeah, maybe he just knows that she doesn't like her job, and she's like not really interested in what she's doing because of everything that happened in this episode.
Yeah, in this episode. Yeah. Maybe he's just locked into that.
But it kind of sounds like he knows, so I don't know.
Yeah, interesting.
Anyhow, let's see. Lucy comes back, which is very exciting. She comes back, talks to Tom. She says it was a weird trip to Chicago because her and her boyfriend broke up.
Yeah.
And which is very exciting for the audience. And that's nice that Tom asks if she wants to talk about it. I think that's really sweet.
Yeah. It's
mature.
It's mature. It's mature for Tom, and I think it shows that at the root of it, he cares about her. He doesn't care about like where does he fit into the relationship. He cares about how she's feeling and how she is, and he's like not taking this opportunity to swoop in. Like he used to do that with Anne, right? Like just like, okay, bro, not the moment. Like You're right. Like he's showing that maturity. And to me, it's like he's putting her before what he wants out of this relationship, which is nice.
100%. Okay, so then we kind of move on from the whole like awkward breakup moment. And it's so lovely, this moment that they created, because they get on the topic of whatever happened between Nicki Minaj and Jesse Eisenberg. But they can, and also Nicki Minaj is dead to me. I love rapping her songs. I'm really mad at it, but she's super MAGA and I'm mad about it now. Anyway, moving on.
For sure. I'm with you.
Yes. But I just love that they can banter, and it really shows how much of a friendship they have, even before the romantical stuff. Like, they have such a cute relationship together, just like having things in common, being able to really hold a conversation with each other and have fun with each other too. And also it sounds like they disagree too, but they wanted to like talk about their thoughts so that they could get each other's side. And I know it's like really, like trivial and elementary to be, it doesn't matter, this thing that they're talking about. It's not, life changing, but to them it's important. And I like that they can bond over those things.
Yeah, agreed.
It's very sweet. And I love too that they did not draw out her relationship with her boyfriend, that we had to wait. I love that we didn't have to wait that long because, I mean, you kind of could guess that she might have broken up with him, or like Tom and her were eventually going to get together because she moved from Chicago. So it's like, how's that going to work essentially? But I mean, you can draw out wrong relationships for a very long time in shows. Okay. AKA Tom and Anne. All right.
Yeah. That felt like
and many other television shows. They felt like forever. So I'm glad they didn't make us wait too long for Tom and Lucy, and we know that they're on the way. They didn't. Yeah. I also love that they don't immediately like make out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a very nice balance.
Agreed.
So Leslie is very nice and reiterates to Ben that this is not Icetown. He's done so much for the town, which is so true. But Ben is like, we need more ammo. I wish we could have found something illegal to do something to them, and now they're both at home, just to set the stage. And we get a doorbell ring, and this is the epic part that you and I were talking about, where you texted me, which it is so epic. Ron rings a doorbell. He got a flying robot to his son, who doesn't have a Gryzzle doodad, which that's a callback to him calling the doodad at JJ's Diner. Somehow Diane's computer was looked at by the robots, and they found something on his son/family, which is a huge breach of trust because, as we discussed at JJ's Diner, Ron is very protective of his family and his privacy. And now that these things are happening to him, both of those things are being threatened. Absolutely not. And that is really the point for me that I would like to get across. It is coming for you. And when I say it, I don't mean robots or anything like that. I mean, if you are on the wrong moral side of history, you will not be saved by saying, well, it doesn't affect me and they're going to look out for me because I work for them or because I'm on their side. It will come for you. You are not safe by not resisting. Okay? That's all I have to say about that. So Ron is like, yo.
Yeah, he's feeling it.
We got to crush him. And it's also smart because, like I said, they're not giving bad things or stealing money. They're literally giving them gifts. So it's a good way to see that it could be easy to accept it. Like I just said, like it can be easy to just accept it and not understand that this is something like bad / potentially illegal, all those kinds of things. But now we know that this company cannot be trusted regardless. But I also love the and I was going to say, I feel like I love the slow burn between. I like that they did this with both Tom and Lucy and Ron and Leslie, because I like that at the beginning of this episode, they're cool with each other as friends, but they're really not on the same team yet professionally or morally. So the ending of this is truly amazing, like such a fantastic ending. So like this is a war now. Ron and Leslie could do anything together, and with Ben too, doing like the logistical legal stuff, and Nick Offerman's like performance of I want to help you take him down. So badass, so beautiful, and then Leslie's smile at the end. So good. Oh
yeah, and it's raining,
like sinister, and it's
like
raining.
way to build the vibe.
Absolutely. With a gun in his hand. Oh fuck. Yeah. That is like, you guys are going down. It's epic.
It's so good. It's like the John Wick vibe of like, you killed my dog, here we fucking go.
Yeah. Like, that's so real.
Yeah. I love.
Yeah.
They did a great job.
I'm sure this has been done before, but with this, I almost wanted, like, you know how there's fan art? I wanted there to be art of like them being superheroes, Ron and Leslie. I want them in their like superhero capes / Spider-Man outfits.
Yeah.
That's what it made us feel, I feel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, great ending.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is the first episode of the 2 of the evening that this aired. So the next episode we review, luckily, is like right after the audience gets to kind of experience how are they going to defeat them. What's the next step?
Yes. Perfect. Well, I do have one last deleted scene that, again, I'm sorry, I forgot to play. However, it's a nice, funny moment. It's a funny way to end. This is with Morris at the city council, the one that's like, I'm watching Iron Man on my phone right now. Like, we don't need a video store.
Yeah.
Hold on. He's like for Gryzzle. Let me just play it.
Counterpoint. Gryzzle's the best. Okay, there's no such thing as privacy anymore. Everything should be open to the public, full transparency. In fact, I'll read my internet browser history right now. Illuminati, Bilderberg Group, Agenda 21, Leslie Knope marital status, Leslie Knope feet.
All right, Morris, hit the bricks.
Okay, you know what? You guys can boo me. Guess what? I've been live streaming this entire thing and putting it on to a website for perverts, okay? So enjoy your debate about privacy, sheeple.
Oh, damn.
Okay, don't pay any attention to Morris. Focus up. We are united. We can take them down.
All right.
Leslie Knope feet.
Gosh. Oh, why? So funny.
And I know that they cut it for time constraints, but it is interesting to see the people. But I think like the people that would disagree, that would want to put like have a counterpoint to that, because there's always one, at least one or more, like their little tiny small group of people, whatever, but that are also very loud. But I think we get the counterpoint with Ron, and that was enough. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, or at the beginning with Ron. So yeah, but that was just, Morris is always funny. It's so funny. Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah. It's always good.
Which, side note, he was really, Joe Mandy, who plays that, was really involved with Hacks. And so was a lot of the writers, and Mike Schur for Hacks. And that just had its final season. And it's so good. Oh my God. I'm obsessed with that show.
Nice.
So if you haven't watched it, please watch it. Oh, and they're shorter episodes. They're like 30 to 35 minutes. So good.
Ooh, love that.
Yes.
Need those.
I think it's the best. So anyhow, that's it for Gryzzlbox. Thank you so much for listening. And yeah, we are just rolling right along with this season. So don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe. And yeah, we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Okay, bye.
There's a park and some pals, and there's also therapy too.